Hey there friends, I hope you have had a wonderful day. Yes, the stock market once again today was just terrible, but jumping right back into here with Sundial, once again they kind of did what they wanted to do and they released quarterlies a day earlier than they said they were going to, which I hate when companies do this because it kind of messes up investors. A lot of people are waiting for a push, but then when the company decides to do something different than what they told people prior, it kind of just screws everybody up, and once again, this is what Sundial has done. Anyway, talking about they have finally released their quarterlies for the whole entire year of 2021, ending in December 31st of 2021. It is done. It is out. So, quarterlies were not tremendous. What we know, here, you can read this. This stuff is page through page on the internet. You can go on here and read it. I'm not going to read everything because I know people don't want to hear about 12 million here compared to 14 million here, 85,000 for this, 5 million for this. You can look at all that. What I will say is that when we look through all this, here's what we know. We know that Sundial had a really big year of 2021 when it comes to buying other companies, expanding their territory in companies with cannabis, and the big picture of what they're trying to do here. A lot of their sales came up short compared to the previous year. 2021 was a weird year for a lot of companies, and a lot of cannabis stocks have not been having a fantastic year. So this isn't something, that's like terrible. They didn't miss by like a devastating amount of money, but they did come up short compared to what they wanted. Now, they did win in the sector of saying there was a lot more analysts than not saying that they were going to have worse quarterlies. Like I said, they were not terrible, but I'm putting stuff up here so maybe you can see it. But one thing that we know is that Sundial has money on hand. This Alcanna situation this Alcanna deal more than not is going to continue to get bigger and is going to bring them a lot more cash with that deal finally closing. Now, like I said, with them releasing, I hate when companies do this. It messes up everybody. And I guess I'm just being selfish. I like when a company is saying at Friday at 3:00 we're gonna release quarterlies. And guess what that does? That brings hype, that brings volume, that brings motivation for people to go, well, let's see what happens here, and this pushes the stock up. But of course, they did not do that. They jumped the gun and they just threw it out there. And we saw nothing from the stock today. I mean, we honestly lost more than not. This is a very middle ground situation right now we're seeing with Sundial. Before I put the sword in and dig around and kind of hurt you, let me say this first. I love Sundial, okay? So for people that are already writing their comments and saying that, Sundial is amazing, I don't know what I'm talking about, trust me, I love Sundial. I'm very bullish on Sundial. I love everything about Sundial. I've been talking about Sundial for a long time. Maybe you're here right now because you heard me talking about Sundial a year ago. Now here's where the sword comes in. Yeah, we're at a middle ground right now where we've got this thing going on right now that's not good. We've got this situation where Sundial has been under $1 going into almost a year. We've still got some months to go here, but we need Sundial to hit $1. Now, there are a lot of penny stocks right now that are going through this situation right now. And when a stock that sits under $1 for a complete year, 365 days, there are things that will happen. First off, more than not, let's say Sundial does not hit this dollar mark here. More than not, they will file for extension, 180-day extension, for the stock to hit $1 mark for 10 consecutive days. And that's what a stock has to do. It needs to hit $1 for 10 consecutive days to stay on the stock exchange, the NASDAQ. So that is what Sundial is up against right there. Now, obviously, don't worry, don't freak out right now. We still got a lot of time here. There's still things going on. Sundial still has some things in their back pocket that they're going to be coming out here with. But this is looming, and this is one of those things where it's like, okay, we really need to get over this hump. We really need this. We've come close a lot of times, but we need to do this. So here's two things coming up. This is kind of the last little two things we have coming up here that could bring in some high volume to Sundial. Obviously, as ridiculous as this sounds, within a month's time, we're going to be talking about the first quarterly of 2022 here with Sundial. So we're going to see how Sundial's doing into this new year. With that too, we're going to be hearing more about this Alcana deal finally closing up, everything, going according to plan with that, and what that's going to mean for investors. So friends, where I sit with Sundial, I'm still here. I have not sold out my shares. I am considering buying more at this price. Yes, I do realize this is a very, very sticky situation. It really is. And, I'll say this too. Here's another situation that this is kind of far out there, but it is something that could happen. We're still waiting on the feds to decriminalize this all the way, for them to make it go to the general public market. That's still a big thing that could happen any time frame. That's just X amount of time right there. When it comes down to Sundial, I'm a fan of Sundial. I'm a fan of Sundial's aesthetics. I'm a fan of Sundial's growth. I'm a fan of Sundial. I'm a fan of Sundial how they invest their money. That's one thing that I like about Sundial. They invest a lot of money in other companies and the growth of their company. And that's one reason we've seen them really, they spend a lot of money, but they spend a lot of money on things that are going to be there, bringing in more bread and butter for them as a company. So to me, that's kind of how I'm looking at 2021. And 2021 kind of just sucked for a lot of companies too. We're still talking about a pandemic world in 2021. And obviously, from October to December, August till December, everyone's sales were down. The stock market sucked. Everything was just crap in 2021. So, that's really why I wasn't expecting that good of quarterlies. Like I said, they weren't like off the wall terrible, but they were better than what people expected, but they weren't life-changing. Obviously, if they were life-changing, this thing would be shooting through the roof right now. So, friends, with all that said, these are the things that we're looking at. There's positive and there's negative. I get it on both ways here. I'm still here with Sundial. I love Sundial. I am hoping the best for Sundial. I really am. This is a fight right now. And like I've said a million times, we're not getting any general help from the overall market itself. That is not there. It's probably not going to be there for a while because things just continue to get stupider. Yes, stupider. Is that a word? Stupider? Probably not. So friends, with all that said, really, I wish everyone the best of luck. If something happens here with Sundial tomorrow, which we've seen that before in the stock market plenty of times. We've seen a company release quarterlies, and then, the next day or next week, we see growth in the company. And I would not be surprised to see some articles, maybe positive, maybe negative, but see some articles come out here with Sundial this coming week, especially tomorrow. So friends, with that said, I really do wish all of you the best of luck. Remember, be positive, be you, take time to invest in your future. Friends, thank you so much for being here, and have a lovely night. Bye, everyone.